Hi guys, West Country Explorer here. This is a slightly different kind of video to what I've done before, but I often find myself sort of thinking back over the various jobs I've done over the years, and I often think to myself of some of the more sort of humorous and interesting experiences I've had. And it's the kind of stories anecdotal stories that often get shared with family and friends and all the rest. And I thought, oh, I'll do a video talking about one of my stories from the workplace. Like I said, over the years, I've done quite a fair few different jobs. I've been working now, well, over 20 odd years, so yeah, quite a long time. Makes me feel ancient. But I mean, one of the jobs I had was as a conductor on the railway back in the mid noughties. So, I mean, I started off my railway life working for South Eastern Trains. I was based at the Tonbridge depot, living in good old Royal Tunbridge Wells. I mean, quite a nice little town sort of back then. I mean, I have been there in more recent years, and Tunbridge Wells is a little bit down on this hill nowadays, but that's by the by. Well, like I said, I was based at the Tonbridge depot, based there for about 18 months or so, something like that. I worked for South Eastern Trains. And out at the Tonbridge depot, we worked a few lines up to London and did a few sort of routes down to the south coast and that. And one of the routes that I did as a conductor was up to London Bridge. London Bridge station, it's got two parts. Sort of some of the stations are terminal stations. Some of the platforms, I mean, get your words right, Dave. Some of the platforms at London Bridge are terminal platforms, and some of them are through platforms up to Charing Cross. Yeah, Charing Cross. Anyway, one day I was working this one particular roster, and part of it was to do a run up to one of the terminal platforms at London Bridge, and then obviously like do a run back down towards Tonbridge area. So anyway, got up to London Bridge, and the driver and I swapped hands, and I was settling down into the what was now sort of the rear cab. And as I was settling down and all the rest, station master he ambles over to me. And he's like, "Right, when you were going through doing tickets, did you happen to spot a wooden box?" I mean, I hadn't spotted a wooden box. I mean, I didn't admit to him. I didn't admit to him the fact that I'd hardly been through the train doing tickets. I mean, it'd been a bit of a quiet service, and I had a good book on the go at the time, so I spent half the journey in the rear cab reading. Not that I admitted that to him, but I honestly said that no, I hadn't spotted a box. So, he said, "Oh, right, we'll have to go and look for this box then, this little wooden box." What it was, a passenger. They'd been travelling on the service on the train as it'd been going up towards London. They'd got off at Tonbridge station, left this wooden box. I accidentally left it on the train. This passenger, they'd on their way home from a funeral. It had been a cremation. You've probably guessed where this story's going. uh, the dearly departed person that had been cremated, their ashes had been split. If I remember rightly, bearing in mind this is going back about 20 odd years, if I remember rightly, the ashes had been split three ways. Suffice to say that this passenger, they'd received one of the boxes containing ashes, and they'd accidentally left it on the train when they got off at Tonbridge depot. So me and the station master, we sort of go through the train to look for this wooden box. We find it in the middle carriage on the floor. it had opened up and the contents had spilt on the floor. So we assumed what had happened was, once the train had left Tonbridge and this ownerless box was left there, we assumed somebody else, another passenger, had come along, spotted this box, and been like, "Oh, what's this?" Opened it up, ashes, and dropped it on the floor. That's what we assumed had happened. Suffice to say, the ashes were scattered on the train floor. And train carriage floors, they're not exactly the cleanest, are they? So anyway, the station master, he kind of looks at me, and I kind of look at the station master, and he goes, "Well, I suppose we better get the station cleaner to sort it out." So radios for a cleaner to come along, which he does. And he picks all the bits of crap out from the ashes, including fag butts. There was a fag butt in there. And the only reason I remember there was a fag butt in there is because someone made the joke about there being fag ash in amongst the cremation ashes, you know. So anyway, this station cleaner, he does the best he can to pick all the rubbish out from the ashes, amongst the ashes. And he gets out his dustpan and brush, sweeps the ashes up, puts it back into this wooden box as best he can, closes it up, dusts it off and all the rest, puts it into this little container, and then just proffers it to me, this box, and goes, "There you go, Dave. Can you take it back to Tonbridge, please?" So, because obviously the passenger got off at Tonbridge, they very quickly realised what had happened, and so they were there at Tonbridge waiting for it to be returned. So on the run back to Tonbridge from London Bridge, I had this box in the rear cab with the ashes of this dearly departed person in it. So, I mean, I possibly shouldn't laugh about it, but it's just one of those stories that, incidents, look back on it, it does make me chuckle a bit. Yeah. So there you go. One of the more interesting passengers, for want of a better way of putting it, that I've had on one of my trains. Yeah. So anyway, loads of stories I have, loads of different stories, and I thought that was one of them I'd share with you guys. So yeah. Tell you something. If any of you have had any interesting experiences, stories, or anything like that from travelling on the railway or anything like that, I'm always interested to hear about it in the comments. And yeah, if you've ever come across a box full of ashes on the train or something, yeah, let me know. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I might possibly do some more videos on sort of workplace incidents, tales from the workplace. Don't know. Like I said, I've got a fair few stories tucked under my belt. But as for this video, I'll bring it to an end now. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Look forward to seeing you in the next one, which hopefully I'll be out next weekend doing something. But in the meantime, guys, as usual, stay safe, take care, God bless.